welcome back to Counter-Strike 2. Today, we're going to be going around the map called Inferno. We're going to look at all the callouts on the map, and as well as talk about the lore of the map and its creation. And we're going to reference the graffiti that's located in some sections of the map. I know in CS2 they took away some of the graffiti from CSGO, but we're still going to go to those spots where they used to be and read about how they came to be into the map. So, as you can see, we are in CT spawn with our lovely wall mural here of what looks like a call out to Martini, the old racing brand for Porsche, I believe. As you can see, in this event, the CT came from these armored personnel carriers into the alleyway up here and had their little grappling hooks where they climbed up. So, reading off of the wiki, talking about the map, just by looking around, it does look like it's based in Italy or some country near Italy. The overview states that this map is set in a small town with European architecture. In the global offensive version, the presence of the separatist faction suggests that the map is definitely set in Italy, as evidenced by the signs written in Italian seen around the map, such as this mural right here. However, the separatist faction is also present in the Basque country of Spain and France, so it is plausible it could be there too. Okay, let's get started with the callouts. So, leaving CT spawn, our first callout will be in this general area called well. The callouts have more or less stayed the same since CSGO, despite the map changes from CSGO to CS2. So really the only thing closest to a well now is this little fountain kinda well, I guess. This well setup. But this is a good spot to hold if the terrorists have taken Site B, or if CT is holding Site B and the terrorist wrapped around into CT spawn. This gives a good view of a good portion of the site. Maybe a couple easy op shots from here. Additionally, we see this little truck. It may or may not been here in CSGO. I'm thinking it probably wasn't here. But there was a lot of changes from the conversion. I will say I do like this map a lot, more than Dust 2 and let's see, is Inferno Dust 2? I'm blanking. But out of the three maps. I would say this one is my favorite, just because of the overall design of the map and where it is placed. Also, I really like the ambient noises in this map as well. Right now, I don't know if you can hear, but it has the faint kind of cackles of chickens and like the little horse noises and birds and cows and all those sorts of farm animals. It depends where you go on the map, but you can hear the wind kind of blowing through the calmness of the alleyways and open areas. So it's quite relaxing, I think. And then the further you go into D-side, you hear the kind of rushed noises of cars passing by with horns blaring. That kind of helps set the scene for the map and why terrorists and counter-terrorists are fighting on it. But that was well. Let's go up to Terrace. Not a far walk, but now we're at Terrace. This is a good connector that kind of cuts through CD spawn, and it connects Site A and Site B. So it's a little bit of a shortcut if you gotta switch sides. In the event terrorists are taking a site. Just kind of looking out for a minute, you can kind of see some of the architecture. These do look like early, mid 1900 style, like favela houses, like kind of Hispanic style. As well, we can see it's a little foggy, but a significant change in elevation in the distance. Kind of giving that Italian landscape kind of vibe to the area. But anyways, we're gonna push up to truck. Maybe in the previous version there was a truck here, but has now been moved to one of these two spots in CT spawn. This is kind of a notorious spot, from what I understand. There is a spot right here where if you get on your teammate's head and boost up, you'll be able to get on this little ledge right here and kind of catch any Ds off guard when they push through to B. I believe it's called CT boost or just CT. And right here you can also boost right here. Get a overall good angle on this corner when they inevitably push. Inevitably. Now, we're gonna go into one of the main entrances, into the back entrance of Site B. This is called construction. Obviously, there is no construction equipment in this area. It does now look like a some sort of steeple, monastery, church of some sorts. We see the beautiful windows. I forget what they're called. The style of window. Forgive me. But we see some angels, it looks like, in the middle, with the red halos around their heads. One of them looks like the be holding maybe a teapot or some flowers, maybe. And the one above that, there seems to be a bucket full of water. He's dipping his feet in it. I wonder what that's about. Maybe it's holy water or something. But the design of this is very nice. When you go into this room, it kind of flushes away all the other ambient noises. It kind of replaces it with this relaxing echo, like the sound of an organ being played in the distance. It's really nice. So, we have this kind of lectern thing. I forget the name of it. But I always thought it was kind of funny. Because this is way too tall. Unless you're supposed to step up on it. And also, all these cigarettes. Not finished at all. Another theme of this map is the wine throughout the entire map. I believe there's like a wine distribution center in the area of this map. Seems we have some wine from a 2012. I do like the lions. The medieval style lions with the shield in the middle. It's a good design. And the bigger kind of container of wine here as well. It looks like this was from 1999. Delicious. And the chicken. For new players, you may not know, but you can press E on the chicken one time. It'll jump up a little bit. And if you start walking, he will follow you wherever you go. Even when the round ends, it will teleport with you into the side that you spawn in. You can press E on as many chickens as you want that are in the map, and they all will follow you. So it's kind of a funny little Easter egg. As we can see, there's a sign that says no smoking. Despite that, of all the used cigarettes at the front of the chapel. Some of the paintings here. These lovely bloodhound dogs or coonhound dogs of some sort. Hunting dogs. Very pretty. Beautiful dogs. I like the painting a lot. It's very nice. I just remembered also, these are called mosaics. 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 Over here, we have a big vase of flowers, a giant bouquet of various types of flowers. Very worn, old painting. Okay, let's keep going. Outside to gardens, 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 gardens. some sort of red flower, but they're still pretty. And this little thing of flowers here that kind of looks out of place, like it's a higher saturation for some reason. So it's a little weird, but that's okay. Over here, we have the infamous coffins. Coffin, 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 coffin. Originally, in CSGO, this spot actually had coffins. That's why they call it coffins. But now we have a dedicated mural, graffiti, of a coffin instead. I do like the design of the ghost that's coming out of the coffin. You can trace it. Kind of a swirl. I like the color palette. The pink with the green. And the red eyes. With the white gloves. Looks like he's in a cemetery. Kind of see the silhouette of the headstones. But instead of coffins, we have these like cruise missile kind of things. A lot of these missiles. See the camera payload at the end of it, or a sensor payload of some sort. A lot of missiles back there. And we are officially in B site. B site. B site. B site. And in the middle of B site is fountain. 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 Yes. Let's take a look at the fountain. It's a relatively basic design. We have a little sign here. Via Magnarelli. I believe that's him right there. I wonder who that is. Some sort of homage to him, or maybe he was a significant person, or maybe he's just made up for the sake of the game. I don't know. Now, we're gonna go into the corner over here. This general area is called dark. Dark, 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 dark. However, I suppose in CSGO that there was no light here, and there was a lack of light in this corner. But in CS2, we have a giant light lighting up the whole corner of this site. So maybe we should change that name. Going across to the other side is what is called quad. 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 It's a good spot to hold a tight angle on anybody coming from banana, and even CT start. If the T's ever try circling around through CT start. See the trees are growing out of the ground. Their leaves. Hear the birds in the background. See the sculpture. It's pretty. Okay. Now, we are going to second. This spot is good to hold if you're playing with silvers, I feel like they rarely check their corners. So if the Ds are pushing, you might get a freebie when they're not looking. And this is also first, 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 first. Now, you can either stand on the sides of them like this and wait, or you can jump on top of them and catch them off guard when they rush through this alley after banana. And with second, you can boost up here. At least in CSGO, I've never tried boosting this spot in Counter-Strike 2 to probably get a couple headshots or a easy flash or smoke from boosting right here. But I don't know if they made it so you can't see over since the new update. Okay. So now we're gonna go down the alleyway to banana. But before we get there, we're gonna stop at sandbags. 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 It's a good spot. Well, it looks like this is concrete, not sandbags anymore, but that's okay. Let's see. 1976. The manhole cover. Usually, when someone calls out sandbags, they usually move back in this corner as well. I don't know if this has a specific name. I think it's just a general sandbag location. But if you're ever on D pushing, always check your corners, because they could be hiding right here. And you could just back up right into them and not even know they're there, and then they get a knife kill on you, and it's really embarrassing. So don't let it happen. But we can see from observing inside of this storefront, we see some empty barrels with a cork that's open in the middle of it, kind of insinuating that they're filling these barrels with alcohol, probably wine if I had to make a guess. It also looks like they're doing some renovations in this store and putting down tile, 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 and a little radio. Let's see, bunch of used sodas in the trash after a long day of work. Okay, let's keep going. So, in this corner is called car, 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 car. Usually, if you're CT, the T's will beat you to this angle. They'll always be peeking right here towards D start. So it's always good to throw a couple flashes before you go to this spot, so you catch them off guard and you can op them through the alley. Let's take a look at this. Handmade, traditional, original macaroni pasta. Established 1810. That's quite old. I suppose Italy was built of pasta. Sorry. Okay. Let's keep going to our first graffiti portion. However, the graffiti, the sign is no longer here. It got removed after the CS2 update, but we do have a banana poster, and I will read about that now. So, can I ask for some bananas in here, please? Freiburg joking with Olafmeister during a post-game interview after winning the ESL 1 Cologne 2014 major. Freiburg of Ninjas in Pajamas has become known for his independently dominating plays on and around Banana, earning him the nickname King of Banana. When Inferno was updated in the October 10, 2016 patch, a street sign was added near sandbags reading Via Adamo, which is Italian for Adam Street, a reference to Freiburg's first name, Adam. It's very cool. I like that Valve leaves these references for us after insane plays during events like that. But yes, this is called Banana. There's a banana sign poster. Banana, 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 banana. Solo una banana. Since 1999. Inferno, Italy. Italy, Italy, Italy. Well, there you go. We're in Italy. In the alley, we see a truck with what's probably wine-filled barrels getting ready to be delivered to one of the store fronts and storage area. Okay. Now we're going to logs, 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 logs. Now, I believe the barrels got replaced. Excuse me, I believe the logs got replaced with barrels. I want to say the logs were in this general area, but they did get replaced. And that's okay. Normally, when you flash from CT, people will instinctively go into these two adjacent kind of cutouts. So, if you're ever holding at a car, you want to make sure nobody's in these two cutouts. Let's keep going to the next spot, which is D ramp. D ramp. D ramp. D. So, the good thing about D ramp is when you come up, you get a good view of mid. Normally, if you're quick, you can crouch, zoom in, and get a headshot. Unless he's got crazy aimbot cheat client, then you're probably not gonna win that duel. But the D sides usually get to their position and to oversee mid before CT do. So the sign says Borgo B, Carolina. Borgo B, Carolina. With various store fronts, small store fronts. We're gonna go. Additionally, before I go, there's another call out in this area called ledge. 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 It's just an elevated angle of D ramp. D ramp. D ramp. Going through here, we see we lose a lot of that natural sunlight in exchange for the artificial LEDs. And of course, some bananas. Banana, banana, banana. Get the prima qualita, premium quality bananas from 1964. 1964. Quite a few bananas. I wonder if it's really bananas in these boxes. We'll never know. We'll never know. We see the B graffiti sign telling us to go back, but we're not going to go back. And now we are in D spawn. We hear the blaring noise of cars driving by and honking. We see the vans of which the D's came from crashing into sight with the intent to plant bombs in the villa. We got a funny little wrap here, some decal of some sort that says chicken lover with this awesome chicken throwing his foot in the air. A fast food chicken brand, from what I understand. We see the Italian flags on this building across the street with the like the decorations of these buildings. They're very, very nice. We got a clear blue sky with the famous D song that's playing. I believe the name of the song is a shortened version of Carcelera, of Carcelera by Reflejo Andaluz. Very classic, nostalgic guitar song. I love it. It sounds so good. Let's get out of here. We see some fruit on the ground, and we're on our way to Site A. Site A. Some more bananas. And now we see second mid. Through the alley we see second mid. I do want to say, during one of the majors, I can't quite remember, one of the players from a certain team went up to every fruit and started knifing them like it was a fruit ninja. Another funny moment about and correct me if I'm absolutely wrong. We see a sign that looks like a bar or a liquor distributor, telling us it's down this way. We'll check that out in a little bit. But for now, we see a pharmacy with these old style shower curtains and the little flower decorations going along from top to bottom. Really gives that old school vibe to the area, to the shop specifically. Via Londonello. Maybe that's a reference to something, I don't know. Not too sure. But we're gonna go up here to what is called let's see, this is living room, living room, living room, living room, living room, living room, living room. I love the design of this house. You have the old homemade ladder and these well-placed bookshelves that I don't think you'd be able to really grab them safely. But that's not the point. We see a church, a cathedral, an old photo of a chapel or cathedral from the roof. Very pretty, as well as some sort of a cactus, some sort of fruit, maybe. And more paintings. More paintings. We've seen this one already, but we see a couple new ones. It looks like a duck of some sort with hunting equipment. These old kind of flintlock, maybe caplock rifle, as well as this hunting dog getting ready to jump at it, it looks like. Additionally, if we look down, we see a nice painting with people dancing around next to this riverbed with a couple of cattle drinking from the river. And beautiful, what looks like Roman architecture in the distance. I do like this painting quite a bit. It's very nice. We see another picture of what looks like some old Italian buildings off the side of the ocean or the sea, living on the coast. I was never a big fan of the idea of living off of a coast. You have to deal with the tides always changing. It's always windy. I don't know. It was never for me, to be honest. From here, we have a collection of drawers, tables, and dressers of some sort. makes it feel like it's own separate portion of the house. It's a good design. I like that design. But now we're leaving kitchen and we are entering balcony, 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 balcony. We see some wine bottles here between these two chairs and a good view to window. This is a good spot if you know the enemy likes to peek through window. If you're on T side, you can come up here and just wait them out and take them out when they peek through either of these windows, or if they're running by through the door. You can get them if you're fast enough. This looks like it's a pizzeria, maybe under the housing section, if I had to guess. But let's continue. We're gonna cross into the apps. This little bridge is called Bridge. Yeah, very surprising. That is what the call is called. It's called Bridge. Nothing really to see, so we'll keep going. We are now entering D apps. D apps. D apps. We got some renovating being done. It looks like someone's trying to put this door back on, or maybe just install it for the first time. I do like the tiling. It's very pretty. Take a peek in here. What do we see? We see a little chair, little dog painting, and nice red walls. It's so bright. The coloring is so bright in there. We've got some old photos of presumably Inferno village. We got some people in a market square, maybe. People enjoying. This looks like a modern photo turned black and white. It looks kind of Asian based on the blurry, low resolution lettering right there. This looks like an Asian market in modern day society. Interesting choice, Valve. Just kidding. It's whatever. From here, we're gonna keep going straight. Something to note, this red door opens, so you have to be careful when you're running through D-apps and you don't get blindsided. This spot is called Back Alley. Back Alley. Back Alley. Back Alley. Back Alley. This is where we first get some of our encounters, our duels, is right here. If you have a CD pushing aggressively into first mid or mid window, they can see you if you're not careful. But if we get through Back Alley, we get ourselves into stairs, stairs, stairs. 9 times out of 10, there will be a CD either in this corner, down the other side of the stairs, or in this corner waiting for you to run by. So, what do? You can be quick and jiggle peek, or you can flash out of these corners, or smoke one corner if you know there's no one in the other section. And get to the bomb site that way. We get ourselves going, and we arrive at window, 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 is it called boiler. Back in the day, there used to be a room you could enter right here. The door was open, and it had a boiler in it. So people will call it boiler. He's in boiler. Then, after a couple updates, they put a door on it and closed it, but people still called it boiler. So, Valve decided to crack the door open, and you would look in through the door and see a boiler. But unfortunately, in CS2, they remodeled this whole section. I believe this is like a hotel of some sort, maybe an apartment, maybe. So, this would be the receptionist area, where you would talk to the lady. It looks like we have security, computers, monitors to look at cameras. One here, and one here, with some books on the bookshelf. Let's see, what is this? We see some stereos, some speakers, bananas. Looks like a scale for bananas. Maybe. But we'll keep going. And before we go out to this door, we gotta go back up stairs. This area is called Close Apps. Close Apps. Close Apps. This is one of the corners you gotta be careful about when pushing, because someone could be holding a tight corner waiting for you to show your head. Which brings us to balcony, 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 balcony. Usually in CS2, you have someone hiding right here or under balcony right below my feet. But this gives a good view of most of a site, besides the little corner past that wall. And we got some chickens as well. Okay, let's get out of CT apps. The next spot we have is top, mid, top, mid, top, mid, top, mid, top, mid, top, mid. This gives us a good view all the way down to T ramp. T ramp. You can see a mountain in the distance, full of trees and grass. Pretty. And once, if you're D and you push through top mid, you always want to look to your right, because there might be someone on patio, 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 patio. Always look to your right. And we will keep going to truck cemetery, truck cemetery, truck cemetery. During a match, CT will normally jump up onto balcony to get there faster rather than just going through CT apps. It's a lot quicker this way. Okay, before we go to a site, we're gonna go to the next graffiti spot, which has its own name called Dacia. Dacia's smart grenade. On Inferno, it is a known fact that if one is standing in the far corner of the pit, right here, with a reasonable amount of health, one just about survives should the bomb go off on bomb site A. During the 11th round of the grand final of PGL Krakow 2017 between Gambit Esports and Immortals, Dacia of Gambit found himself unable to win the round as Immortals' bomb on bomb site A was going to blow. However, he knew that Steele and Lucas, one of Immortals, were standing in the far corner of the pit. With the above-mentioned strategy in mind, Dacia threw a grenade towards the pit, dealing over 50 damage to each of his opponents, which caused them to die from the bomb explosion and lose their weapons, creating a huge setback to the economy of Immortals. Dacia's play was so advanced that Sadikist, who was casting the match, had trouble explaining the strategy for viewers and missed his excitement. Valve added a poster to the brick house adjacent of the corner in a form of mockery, an advert for a perfume in a grenade-shaped bottle, along with the slogan in Italian meaning, "No, you cannot escape now." Very cool. So, that was Pit. Let's go up to Graveyard. Graveyard. Unfortunately, in the new update, they blocked off Graveyard, so you cannot enter anymore. But in early CS2 and CSGO, you would be up here at the top. Gonna give you a good vantage point of anybody coming through this alleyway and all of Site A. We are now entering Site A. When you are entering to defuse, or you're hiding, protecting Site A, you usually want to find a corner, either close left or back sight. Back sight. This gives a good view straight into balcony and truck cemetery. Let's see what's in this box. Oh, good. More missiles. I really wonder what's in all of these wine barrels then. Maybe not wine. This looks like a wine warehouse. These giant barrels full of liquor and alcohol. Let's keep going, shall we? The next spot I want to cover quickly is back here in the corner. This is called Long Corner. Long Corner. Long Corner. Long Corner. Long Corner. Long Corner. If you smoke top mid, you can rush over to Long Corner. And if you're playing with silvers, they usually don't check this corner. So you can get a couple of free kills brings us to library, 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 library. As you can see, this is not a library. Maybe in the past it was. But now, it is a winery of some sort with annual medals, gold medals of 2022 and 2023. It's rated the #1 winery in the area. It's very impressive, 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 impressive. We are now in the library. You can see a bunch of tables. I like the design of these tables. They're specifically made to hold these wine bottles that go down the leg of the table. Again, we see the brand marking of the two lions with crowns holding up the shield in the middle. More barrels, maybe full of wine, maybe full of bombs. I don't know. And here we are at the storefront where they sell the wine boxes and the wine bottles. Okay. Okay. I will now read some lore to you all about the map. On September 2016, the Separatists get word of an undercover government trade deal happening in a small city in Italy. While the exact location is unknown, two locations are filled with dirty gas explosives to hijack the deal and recover the important intel/items. On October 13th of the same year, as the faction is set and ready to arm the explosives, they are rather greeted with SAS agents verifying if the area is safe and secure before the exchange. Only improvisation is left on their hands. The plan changes to blowing up the trade locations with highly explosive C4, compromising the area and canceling the government plans, pushing them to reset the deal to another day. The unfolding of the mission is up to the player's choice. Choice, 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 choice. Okay. I think that will wrap up Inferno for today. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. Feel free to leave a comment and share if you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I will keep doing more maps like this style. I really enjoy doing this type of content, so thank you all for watching,